It's safe to say we're in the great dress code era. It all kicked off with the Houston Rodeo. There were cheeks everywhere, and outrage was so loud that they changed the Houston Rodeo dress code mid-rodeo. They didn't wait till next season. It was immediate. Shortly after that, there was a video of a man complaining about his experience at the Ruth Chris and how the young YNs were coming in there with the pants sagging in their Ithaca underwear showing and bubble jackets and hats. Typical YN attire. And him and his wife, upstanding working class, citizens, were there trying to have a nice Valentine's Day dinner, and they had to, endure backsides of men being exposed in a restaurant. Ew, how gross. So he made the video, it went viral, and now we have Ruth Chris enforcing a dress code. And the dress code is like no hats, no shirts or attire with vulgar language or gang symbols and stuff like that. A basic dress code. They're not asking you to wear a tux. They're not even asking you to wear a suit jacket. They're just asking you to come in there presentable for fine dining. White tablecloth dining. And I've been to Ruth Chris before, and Ruth Chris is not cheap. It is a fine dining establishment. It is a steakhouse. They sell other things, but it's primarily a steakhouse. So it's not cheap. People pay a pretty penny. And I know the YNs got the pennies. They got the little change. So they feel that they could go in there also. But Ruth Chris has tapped them on the shoulder and say, hey, you could come, we'll take your money, but you're going to have to look like society, not like a YN. All right. And do I blame Ruth Chris? No, not at all. I'm 100% with Ruth Chris. Because along with poor attire comes poor behaviors. Right? And before you know it, they'll be fighting in Ruth Chris like they do at the Waffle House every weekend without fail. So to kind of weed out those behaviors or possible behaviors, if they're going to enforce a dress code. Kudos to Ruth Chris. And it's a shame that in 2026 we have to post these things and enforce these things. But it seems like a generation, I'm not going to name the generation, but a generation has been left behind. Like, we have No Child Left Behind in the education. Well, these children have been left behind when it comes to how to dress presentably in public. And we've seen the behaviors that come along with the shiesty mask, right? We've seen the behaviors that come along with the saggy pants, and even for the ladies, the bonnet bandits. We've seen some of these behaviors. Not saying that everyone who wears this is doing those behaviors, but no business wants to take that risk. No establishment that people are paying $100 plus per plate per person wants to take that risk. Now, Ruth Chris may have gotten away with it, or they may have skimmed by and not had any incidents as far as violence. But I believe if they were to still entertain that crowd, that it will be inevitable that something will pop off. And it's just the nature of the beast. I've seen it here for the Houston Rodeo. They act a plumb fool March 14th at that rodeo. Fights left and right. So some things are inherently inevitable when you put a group of like-minded individuals in the same vicinity. I'm just saying. And it's not trying to down my people. It is called stereotypes for a reason. That is the reason why there are stereotypes. And I'm not even going to say stereotypes, profiles. Though they're called profiles for a reason. If you fit the profile, you fit the profile. And maybe if you don't like fitting that profile, change the profile. I was once young. I'm still kind of young, but young. And we dressed how we wanted to, with the times and with the trends. And I remember the older folks saying, older people always going to have something to say. And now we're the older people who have something to say. But I don't know if we cut up that bad in the 90s and in the early 2000s. I don't know if we cut up this bad. But every generation is always going to look, the older generation before is going to look back at the younger generation and be like, and that's what we need, because someone has to guide us forward. We cannot be a land of children of the corn with no parental guidance, no adult guidance, no wisdom, no knowledge, no wise counsel. We have to have the village in place. The village cannot be scared of the youth. And these days, the youth, a very peculiar bunch of youth. I don't remember them. Well, yeah, they were kind of scared of my youth back in the days. My peers, they were kind of scared of them because they were, older YNs. Well, the OG YNs. I don't know what you want to call them now, but yeah, every generation had, that potential. Back in my day, yeah, sagging pants, big clothes, like the big t-shirts were the thing, right? Big white t-shirts and humongous jeans is what the old YNs of generations ago would wear. And they got the same backlash. Why are your pants so big? Pull your pants up. Why are your shirts so big? And we need that, though. We need that as a community, as a tribe. You're always going to need wise counsel. We may not want to hear the wise counsel, but that's what makes the next generation wise. Because if you live long enough, if you see enough things, you will have wisdom. But first, we have to guide you through so you can live to see another day. So, I just wanted to talk about dress codes and how I don't think it's going to be over. I think the Houston Rodeo was just ground zero in the beginning. I think other businesses are going to follow suit with a dress code. I think that bonnets are going to be damn near outlawed, which they should be, in public. Not, you can wear what you want in your house. Bonnets are not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. But in public, at work, people are trying to wear bonnets to work. Oh my word. Ew. But I digress. I think we're going to see a lot more of the dress code divide. Which you should not wear, which you can't wear here. And guess what? Each business has the right to determine what they will service and what they will not service. And it is not racist to me. It is long overdue. I don't believe that our community is being targeted because our community is the ones that's cutting up sideways, doing street takeovers and donuts in the middle of the street, going into stores and ramshacking it and doing flash mob thievery, fighting at the rodeo, a family event, going to parking lots and gas stations, causing havoc. So I don't think it's a racist thing. I think it is a generation, a class of just uncouthness. And we have to put some couth back in the community. And a way to start for these businesses who are being targeted almost, they have to do a dress code. It's a process of elimination. Like, all money ain't good money. And some of these businesses are willing to lose the dollar of a YN. They're willing to lose the dollar of a bonnet babe. And it's sad because I believe our youngsters have so much to give to society, but yet they want to do street takeovers. Yet they want to do run and grab in stores. Yet they want to fight up and down the street, get dragged by their knuckles up and down the street. And I don't know, where did the community and the tribe, where did we go wrong? That to have this many of them with the same groupthink behavior. It's not even isolated little bits of them. It's like they put out the bat call and there's about hundreds of them come out. But I digress, because that's a whole nother story of how they put the bat call out and they get together and they cause havoc in wherever city they're in. Oh my word. But we're going to slowly but surely get these kids together, because I don't think it's just a parenting thing. I think they had decent parents. I think it's an obedience issue that we're dealing with. I think we're dealing with the spirit of defiance that has a black cloud over these kids. I think we are dealing with the spirit of disobedience with these kids. Because it's not just one or two or a few. It's hundreds of them with that same corrupt spirit on them. And this is something that we're going to have to pray out of these kids. This is something that if you have any youngsters that fit the profile, you're going to have to anoint their head with some holy oil, with some holy water, and we're going to have to pray about these kids. And this is a download straight from heaven, because it just came over my spirit. These kids have a spirit of disobedience on them. And this is something that You can't dress code away. This is something that you can't whip away. This is something that you can't restrict away. Where they come in like locusts, hundreds of them like locusts, and devour certain areas and events and store. It's like a locust mentality. And this is something that us as a tribe, as the community, we gonna have to get together and get that holy water, that holy oil, anoint them, pray for them. Some of them might need exorcisms. Because we don't know what they done got into, what they done listened to, what they are idolizing these days. But for a whole generation and groups and hundreds of them to be the same way, oh, that's a spirit over them. Oh, yes, it is. But I will end this think piece right now. I don't want to go into preaching. Hallelujah. But that's just food for thought. And dress codes may have started it, but guess what? The oil is going to end it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.